To this very special regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, November the 10th, 2025. I'd like to welcome those of you who are joining us in the audience this evening, as well as those who are joining us online. We certainly appreciate your attendance. At this time, I'll call on our City Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Mr. Metter?
Here.
Ms. Hart?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here. We do have a full council this evening, and our invocation and pledge will be led by Council Member Mary Hart. If everyone will please stand.
Father in heaven, we thank you for the blessing of being here this afternoon. We thank you, Father God, for all things that you have provided for us on this day. Father, we pray that the decisions that we make will be profitable and rewarding for every citizen in Texarkana. Thank you for blessing the city to be able to still have peace and love and quiet in the city. Father, we ask that you bless us to go forward and do a great job for the citizens of our city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. As I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, this is indeed a very, very special council meeting that we're having this evening as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of our City Hall building. Our building opened in 1925, and a lot of decisions have been made in this building. A lot of decisions have been made in this particular room. And so I just, first of all, would like to provide some overview in reference to our celebration. And then I have a few remarks, and then there will be a proclamation read, and then some introductions and recognition of others after that is done. But the Texarkana, Texas City Hall will be celebrating its centennial anniversary in 2025, marking 100 years of civic service since its completion in 1925. This is the second City Hall building to be constructed at this same location. The electrical work was completed by Logan Electric, a local contractor that contributed to the building's modern functionality at the time. Logan Electric is still a business that is still in business today, located on East Broad Street. And we do have with us this evening Rusty and Sharon Phelps, who are the owners of Logan Electric. Would you all please stand to be recognized? I called Rusty earlier today to extend a personal invitation for he and Sharon to be here, and I said, I was looking over my notes and I noticed that you all provided the electrical contracting work for the building. And he said, well, that's what I'm told, but there's not anybody that I can ask to confirm that. So anyway, we certainly appreciate you all being with us and everything that you do in our community, serving our citizens. I'm a regular customer there myself, so appreciate everything that you all do. The building remains a proud symbol of local government and also community legacy. The first city council meeting, this is a little historical information, the first city council meeting held in this building took place on September the 1st, 1925. During that meeting, the council voted to host a celebration on November the 12th, 1925, right here in this same room, almost 100 years ago today. History records that it was a grand event, not too different from our gathering tonight as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Texarkana, Texas City Hall. And at one time, our local municipal court was held in this very room. So a lot of history dealing with that. A lot of things that we have in our city, things that we drive by, some of our infrastructure needs, those decisions were made in this room by the mayor and the city council at that time over these many, many years. and I'll just share a couple of personal remarks, and then I will move into the proclamation. I do remember this was many, many years ago. I don't know if this has ever happened before then or since then. I know it hasn't happened since then, but we had a city council meeting that was called to order on a Monday, and the council meeting was adjourned on Tuesday, about 2 o'clock in the morning on that Tuesday morning. We were in the process at that time of hiring a new city manager, and we were having to go through a lot of information, and so I do remember that we opened it on one day and closed it on the following day. And then kind of a personal story I would like to share with you. Many years ago, I think this is when I was a council member, we had a building attendant here, and she went by the name of Miss Fanny. And that's all I ever heard her called was Miss Fanny. And so back in those days, after a council meeting, when we would leave the City Hall building, we would exit through the hallway on the 3rd Street side of the building. And Miss Fanny would always be standing at the receptionist desk area on the 1st floor as we started to make our exit from the building. And she would stand there and she would say this phrase, and then she would repeat it. And she would say, "Stay to the right, stay to the right." I had no idea what she was saying. I thought, stay to the right, what is she talking about? Anyway, so next council meeting, she would be standing there, stay to the right, stay to the right. This went on for months, maybe years, and I could not build up enough courage to ask her what she meant by that. So the time came, or the day came, when Miss Fanny retired from the city. And so she was no longer there standing at the receptionist desk. So I was leaving after a council meeting one night. I think I was walking down the hall alone, and I was distracted doing something, either looking at my phone or looking down at some papers or something like that I had. And by then, before then, she kept saying, "Stay to the right, stay to the right." I did not know what her political affiliation was, but I thought perhaps at one time, well, maybe she's a Republican. She keeps saying, "Stay to the right, stay to the right." So anyway, as I was walking up to the entry doors, had my head down doing something, and I reached out on the door to the left to hit the push bar to open the door, and the door was locked. But the push door on the door to the right was open, and then it hit me. That's what she meant. Stay to the right because the door on the left is locked. And so I finally understood that. It took a while for that, but I never will forget that. And I sure appreciated the friendship I had with Miss Fanny. She was certainly a very, very nice lady, and we had a lot of nice conversations together over the years. So at this time, I will go ahead and read our 100th anniversary celebration. Texarkana, Texas City Hall. Whereas on Thursday, November the 12th, 1925, this iconic building was dedicated and has marked its 100th year, serving as a vital part of our city's fabric by housing the City Council to conduct municipal business, serving the needs of the public, and offering space for community meetings and special events. Whereas this municipal building is a 4-story brick and terracotta structure with a rectangular plan and flat roof, white tile floors, 8-inch marble base, original black wrought iron staircases with oak handrails, and has witnessed the growth and development of Texarkana, Texas for 100 years. And whereas celebrating its 100th anniversary, Texarkana, Texas City Hall was designated a recorded Texas historic landmark in recognition of its enduring role as a cornerstone of civic pride and public service. Now, therefore, I, Bob Brugman, Mayor of Texarkana, Texas, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, as Texarkana, Texas City Hall Day, as a day to celebrate the 100th anniversary of our municipal building, recognize its significance, and reflect on the legacy it represents. let us honor this historic structure with a renewed commitment to preserving our community's rich history and architectural heritage for generations to come. And I have signed the proclamation. It's been attested by Jennifer Evans, our city secretary, and the city seal has also been affixed to the proclamation. So let's give our municipal building a nice round of applause. At this time, I would like to recognize some of our former mayors who have served our great city over the year. I had the honor and privilege of serving under two of these gentlemen as far as former mayors. And I would like to call their names. I'm going to state their names, the years that they served as mayor. And as I call their name, I'm going to ask them to come over to the podium to my right and reflect a few comments about their time as mayor, maybe something that happened that was humorous or some certain specific accomplishments that were made for the city during the time on their watch. So our first mayor I'd like to recognize is Mayor John Jarvis, who served as mayor from 1990 to 1998. And you're familiar with the Jarvis Parkway, which is the loop around the city, also known as I-369. And so Mayor Jarvis has been designated that designation for his service to our great city. Second, we have former Mayor James Bramlett. Mayor Bramlett served our city from 1998 until 2008. And then also we have with us former Mayor Stephen Mayo, who served as mayor from 2008 until 2012. I would also like to mention that we do have two other mayors who served our city who are not able to be with us this evening, and they are Mayor Joe Frost, who served as mayor from 1986 until 1990, and Mayor Wendell Wisdom, Dr. Wisdom, who had the Wisdom Animal Clinic for many, many years here in town. Mayor Wisdom served from 1970 until 1973. So Mayors Jarvis and Bramlett and Mayo, we thank you very much for being here. We thank you for your service to our city, and so we'll provide your remarks and then have you come forward and we'll have a group photo. So Mayor Jarvis, we'll begin with you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Brueggemann. It won't take but about 20 minutes probably on my end of it, but listen, thank you, City Council. Y'all, the tremendous service that you guys give, nobody has any idea, and I just want to thank you for what you're doing and how long you've done it, and just keep up the good work. 100 years, oh my gosh. You know, really it sounds like a lot, but honestly it's not. I look back, I was elected in 1987 to the city council. I was 28 years old, and of course by far the youngest one on the council, and I thought, you know, I had a bunch of local leaders talk me into running, and so I finally committed. Took about 6 months, and being up here I'm thinking, well, I can serve 2 years, and then I can go back to my life. And once I was up here, I really learned how important it was and how much can be impacted on all of us. So 3 years later, so a term and a half, I just was talked into running for mayor and served mayor from 90 to 98. Now during that period, I talked James Bramlett into running for city council, and then talked him later into running for mayor, so I could go on and do my happy fun stuff. But in any case, in those years, we accomplished a whole lot. I guess one of the maybe three big things. One was that the council before us and mayor kind of had a mindset of, I'm going to raise property taxes or the tax rate 3% every year, and that'll help our growth. Well, that never sat well with me, and when I was elected mayor from the time I was there to 98, the tax rate stayed the same, and it was not easy, but we made it work. The other was the loop around Texarkana, Texas, and Texarkana, Arkansas. I had no idea it was even in the works. I had the Bowie County judge call me, and he said, hey, when are we gonna finish that loop? And I said, what loop are you talking about? And he said, well, he said, how old are you? And I said, well, I'm 32. And he said, well, it was about the time that you were born that this concept came about, and that it's with the city of, or with the state of Texas, and Arkansas knows about it as well. What can we do to get it going? So, you know, understanding at that point the importance of the relationship between Texarkana, Texas, and Texarkana, Arkansas, I said, well, let's look at getting the mayors on the Texas side area from New Boston in, so Texas, Nash, Wake Village, me, and the Arkansas mayor and the Arkansas Miller County judge, and we'll go to Austin. So we went to Austin and lobbied, which, you know, when you got that many mayors and a couple of county judges, the doors are open. And when we left that day, we went to priority 1 for the loop. Well, the next step was to go to Little Rock. Went to Little Rock, did the same thing, and so that's how the loop got done. Because I think it was like 4 years later, and it was complete right in there. The other biggest one was BRAC, so the base realignment and closure with Red River. And that, you know, with the Texas and Arkansas being where we are and the connection we have, we literally have twice the power of most cities in the country when we need it. And so when we plug in both governors, and then we get the senators and the congressmen and the U.S. level. I mean, it's just, we can hit some home runs, and we did. And of course, you know, long story short, that was in '95, and so we kept Red River, and we had another one in 2005, and did the same thing. So that's the accomplishments. Okay, how much time I got?
You're
15
good.
minutes? So I'll tell you, it's a quick story. This is fun. So I guess I was mayor for about 2 years, 2 to 3 years. And always, you know, you go to TML and different areas, you talk to other mayors, and we talk to the small town mayors like us, and there's always that story of a barking dog, and you get that call. Well, I'd never gotten that call. So, and this was before cell phones, right? So I guess about 11 o'clock one night, my phone rings, and it's a lady, and she is livid. She's livid, and she lights into me about how she's had the police out at her house and that they can't find the dog. And I said, what dog are you talking about? I said, the barking dog. Well, I mean, she just went on and on. Now, let me tell you, so when I was first elected city council, Austin had a newly orientation for elected officials. And I don't know if they still do or not. But anyway, the only thing I remember, there was a psychologist there, and he said, when you have somebody coming at you and they're wearing you out and just really heating you up and trying to tear you a new one, pretend that they got a bucket full of water. And as they're telling you, they're pouring that bucket out. And don't interrupt them while that bucket's coming out, because if you do, it's going to tilt back up and fill up again. So he said, always let that bucket run completely out, and you'll know when it's empty, because if you're talking to them personally, their shoulders will drop, and then they'll just kind of let it exhale. And if you're talking to them on the phone, they'll just pause, and there'll be you can tell. So I'm thinking about that the whole time. She is wearing me out, and she talks about how they've been out there 3 times, and they can't ever get the dog. When they get out there, the dog's not barking. So she finally reached a point, and she said, and by goodness, I pay your salary. So let me tell you about our salary. So on the city council, I was getting a check, started showing up once a month for $7. And I asked the city manager, what's, this for? Well, it's a stipend. It's for your supposedly phone bill. And it's been that way for a long time. Well, I think we increased it 100% before I left being on the city council, and it became $14. So I'm getting paid $14, and found out that she's the one paying my salary. So she stopped right there and she paused, and I said, well, first of all, I want to thank you. And she said, thank me for what? And I said, well, I've never really known where that $14 a month comes from. Well, long story short, she laughed and we carried on, and you know, I never heard from her again. But and I've got a lot more stories, but I think my time's up. But anyway, thank y'all. It was a pleasure, and I have a picture. I bought a picture of my dad was on the city council in the early '50s, and in this room there's a picture of him. So. I don't know the names of the mayors or anybody else, but I want to get those and have it.
They're on the wall out in the hall.
Maybe we'll get a copy of it. Anyway, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Jarvis. Mayor Bramlett?
Afternoon, council, mayor, community. I just want to tell you how appreciative we are to be a part of this 100-year celebration, an anniversary for this great building and this great city. I'm really big on history, and I had the distinct pleasure of working with a lot of individuals, part of the city team for a lot of years, and a lot of them are still here, still working. I also had the pleasure of working with Mayor Jarvis, Mayor Mayo, Mayor Brueggemann, Derek McGarry, and several others on the council during that time. We had a great time, got a lot accomplished, and our biggest endeavor was economic development. And one of our most proud projects was the A&M University project, which has brought a lot of economic development and funds and students and new families to the community. And the other item, I grew up in Rose Hill, over 1406 Bowie, my grandparents' house, and they bought that house in 1929. And before we left, we had a huge project in the Rose Hill of redeveloping all the projects and redeveloping that whole neighborhood. A lot of people still to this day do not realize it's been about 15, maybe 20 years since all that was completed, millions and millions of dollars, and it was one of the first new projects of new development south of Interstate in probably 40 years. And I was as proud of that as the council as what we did for A&M University Texarkana. But it's been a real honor and a pleasure to work with this team and what you do to continue to develop the city, and the city manager and his team for working for the prosperity of this community, and the fact that it's 100 years old, and my great-grandfather went to work in this building in 1925 when it was brand new, and he was the elevator operator. My grandfather was a police officer for 12 years from the 30s until like 1942. And then, of course, I had the pleasure of serving as mayor and council member, and now my son works for the city, so that's 4 generations. So I think that's really unique and an honor to be a part of that history. And as we were sitting here talking, of course, Matt Solomon, I thank the world of Matt. He's a great historian. And the fact that we're sitting here talking about this tonight, out of 100 years between 4 mayors from 90 to 2025, that's over a third of the history of this building. That's 35 years of a 100-year history. So that's pretty unique for the council and all the team members of the staff and these mayors to have that much of an impact on this community, working for the betterment of all our families and our community. But I appreciate being here tonight, and thank you for the good works that y'all do today and will continue to do in the future.
Thank you, Mayor Bramlett. Mayor Mayo?
All right, well, I'm the quickest out of all 3 of us, so everybody's in luck. Thank y'all for having us today. What he didn't tell you is when I got elected, I had to figure out how to pay for that the road at that university. So I won't even go into that. But yeah, they talk about lowering taxes. I'm the one, the sorry one that had to raise it for a little bit. But we do have a wonderful university. You know, if you do your job right here, you pour your heart into it, it means a lot. My daughter, when I won my mayor race, I was 34, I think. Yeah, 34. My daughter, when I got sworn in by Judge Carlo, I was holding her right up there, and she was 6 weeks old. So we got a lot done, and it's not easy. And if you do it right, you pour your heart into it, it's blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of hours. You know, my family business has been here for 60 years now. My grandfather was heavily involved, both my grandfathers on both sides of the state line. So when I was in my 30s and when these two asked me to get involved, it was only natural because I wanted Texarkana to be the best place for my kids, and I want them to have an opportunity here. And I know that's why all y'all are here and most of the people in the audience that are involved too. So thank you very much, and thank you for everything you do.
Very good.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to step down and we're going to take a quick photo, and then we also have some other guests I want to recognize this evening as we move throughout our program. So just pause for just a second. Once again, I want to thank our mayors for being here this evening. Mayor Bramlett was instrumental in visiting with me and discussing with me about getting into city government way back around the year 2001, 2002, and he was a big encouragement to me, and I have thoroughly enjoyed being involved in community service. However, from time to time, there would be a situation where, kind of alluded to Mayor Jarvis's point, where I had a citizen absolutely wearing me out, and Mayor Bramlett would call me and we'd be visiting. I'd say, when I find the guy that talked me into doing this, we're going to have a conversation. So anyway, we've joked about that. Also, we have two very special guests with us this evening. We have Robin Bass, who represents Congressman Moran, Nathan Moran, our U.S. Congressman from District 1. Robin, thank you for being here. And then go ahead and stand so you can be recognized. And then we also have with us Mr. Ray Wilson. Mr. Wilson represents Texas State Senator Brian Hughes. Did you have a presentation you wanted to make?
Yes, got the flag out.
Okay, come on up, come on up. Jennifer, could you hand, I'll tell you what, just come up to the podium here behind the microphone, Mr. Wilson. And once again, I want to thank you and also thank Robin for being here this evening.
You bet.
Go ahead, sir.
Let me just say, on behalf of Senator Hughes and even myself, thank you to all those who currently serve. I mean, and going back to serving for $7 or whatever it was a month. I mean, you know, you have to be someone who feels a calling to service, to do city government, county government, and even state government for that matter. And so this is just a quick proclamation, or not really a proclamation, but something to do with the flag. It says, this certifies that the Texas flag herewith was flown over the capital of the sovereign state of Texas and presented to the city of Texarkana by Senator Brian Hughes, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Texarkana City Hall. Congratulations. And it was actually flown over the Capitol.
All right, I failed to do this. There's a lot on the agenda this evening. So I'd like to present to each one of you, as a token of our appreciation for your service, our 2025 Main Street Texarkana ornament. This is an ornament that is provided by Main Street each year. They sell these ornaments in the community, and we want you to have one as a memento of your service to our great city. On the front part is a picture of City Hall, and then on the back there's some wording about the City Hall itself and its history. So thank you all very much once again. I'll give you that. Okay. All right. Thank you all very much. I think that concludes my remarks. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our city manager, Dr. David Orr, for some additional remarks. Dr. Orr?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you mentioned earlier, we're excited to announce that City Hall has officially been designated as a recorded Texas Historic Landmark. So with City Council approval earlier this year, we applied for this recognition, and in August, we received notice of approval from the Texas Historic Commission. This designation brings many benefits, the most visible of which will be a historic marker that will be installed in front of City Hall. The draft marker is shown on the screen. Included in your program as well by the Texas Historic Commission. Once finalized, we anticipate receiving and dedicating this marker in late spring or summer of 2026. My apologies. We also have the ornaments that you mentioned earlier. Just want to mention that we have those downstairs, and we want to thank Main Street Texarkana for their partnership in this program. They're downstairs at the reception desk for $20, and we also have locations around town that Main Street will be selling those ornaments as well. And then finally, over the past year, we've made a number of improvements to the building itself. I want to go through a couple of those improvements that we've made with budgeted funds. Those include replacing the windows on the north and west elevations of the building. Also, we've had the marble floors professionally cleaned. We've applied paint throughout the common areas. We've had HVAC upgrades as well, and performed an exterior soft wash to protect and preserve the building's historic facade. Finally, all this would not be possible without our city team, and I want to recognize those individuals that helped with those improvements and also helped to put on the program tonight. First off, they were led by our Historic Preservation Officer, Matt Solomon. Matt, will you please wave? Our team members included Brooke Stone, Reed Russell, Jessica Plant, Michelle Fernandez, Michelle Daniel, Jennifer Evans, David Puckett, Yolanda Only, and Dalton Jumper. Will you please join me in congratulating these individuals and thanking them? All right, and I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Orr. We did recognize our mayors who are here tonight, but we also have some former city council members in our audience. So if you are a former member of the Texarkana, Texas City Council, if you'll please stand to be recognized. We have former former council member Tom Sadowski with us. We also have former council member Dr. Brian Matthews with us. And we also have former council member Derek McGarry. Council member McGarry is the youngest council member to have ever served on the city council. Derek, I believe you were age 20, is that correct? 21? Okay, so Councilmember McGarry became a member of the city council at the age of 21. So thank you, gentlemen, all for your service. We greatly appreciate your service to the city. And just a quick finalization of everything, just to look at how things have changed as far as from 1925 until 2025. Let me kind of go over some historical items that we consume this day and time and kind of do a comparison of cost. The cost to build this building in 1925 was $200,000. The cost to replace this building today, it would cost $3,703,000. Back in 1925, a loaf of bread was 9 cents. Today, it's $2.50. And I think that's if you find it on sale. So, 1925, a gallon of milk cost 56 cents. Today, it's $4.50. A pound of coffee in 1925 cost 52 cents. Today, it's $10 a pound. A new home in 1925, the average cost was $7,700. Today, the average price for a new home is $258,000. A gallon of gasoline in 2025 was 22 cents. Today, it's roughly $3.25. And then an average annual wage in 2025, this is a national figure, was $5,249, and average annual wage in Texarkana today is $47,000. So a lot of things have changed over these past 100 years, and so we want to certainly congratulate our great city, congratulate our birthday of our building here at City Hall, and we will continue to have a reception until 8 p.m. this evening. So at this time, we'll go ahead and move along with our agenda. As far as mayor's remarks and items of community interest, just will remind everyone of the annual Bramlett Beans and Cornbread that will take place on December 4th at 11 to 1. And this will be at the Texarkana Convention Center. This is an event that former Mayor Bramlett spearheaded many, many years ago. Mayor Bramlett, how many years is this? 27. This is the 27th year. And so the funds that are raised for this event will provide food baskets to needy families in our community. And this is done in conjunction with Texarkana Water Utilities. We want to thank TWU and their staff for the great work that they do in providing this service. And is it still $5 or the? Yes, sir. Okay, so you can purchase a meal ticket for $5 or bring the
Some canned goods.
5 non-perishable canned goods. I think approximately 5, I think, is kind of the norm. Okay, so once again, that'll be on Thursday, December the 4th. And also in the area of food service, our local scouts are doing their annual food drive. This past weekend, they were out in the community providing the paper sacks for this event. And so this coming Saturday, they will be picking up non-perishable food items. And so if you're wanting to participate in that, they just ask that you put your non-perishable items in the sack that was provided, or you can use another paper sack or plastic bag and just place those out by your front door or on your front porch, and then they will come by and pick those items up. I think they're going to get started around 9 a.m. on Saturday, so if you'll have those out for them, they will get those picked up and get those to needy families as well. In reference to our upcoming city council meetings, our meeting for the month of December will be held on Monday, December the 8th, and then on Monday, December the 1st, we'll have our annual Main Street Texarkana Christmas Parade in downtown Texarkana at 7 p.m. We look forward to that every year. And then our council meeting in the month of January will be on Monday, January the 12th. Once again, 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. A lot of activities in reference to Parks and Recreation. On November the 15th, we'll have the I-30 Throwdown Disc Golf Tournament at Spring Lake Park. as well as the NCS softball tournament at Spring Lake Park, at the Swanger Complex in Grady T. Wallace Park. Also, we'll have the USSSA Adult Softball Tournament at Grady T. Wallace Park. On November the 27th, we'll have the Turkey Trot 5K hosted by Community Health Corps at Spring Lake Park. And then December 5th and 6th will be the Hoop Fest basketball tournament at the Southwest Center. And then December 6th and 7th will be the USSSA baseball tournament and for Toys for Tots at Spring Lake Park at the Swanger Complex. And you can call the City Hall for more information or log on to the city's website if you have questions or need additional information. In reference to upcoming events at the Pro Theater, we have the G4 Productions will present Menopause, the musical, on November the 11th at 7 p.m. That might be kind of interesting. And then the Texarkana Symphony Orchestra will present Back to the Future with full symphony orchestra performing live in sync with the movie on November the 22nd at 8 p.m. Tickets for the Pro Theater shows are available at protheater.org. At this time, we'll move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone who would like to address the council this evening, you're welcome to do so. You will have up to 5 minutes to speak on any topic. However, if you're here this evening and you're wanting to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, I respectfully ask if you'll wait till we get to that particular public hearing item. We'll be more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. We also ask that you complete one of the forms that you will see by the entry door, so we'll have a written record of your attendance. Ms. Evans, did we have any sheets filled out? None at this time. Is there anyone who would like to address the council? Okay, not seeing anyone coming forward. At this time, we'll move along with appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Are there any appointments to boards, commissions, or committees to be made by the council this evening? Okay. We'll now move along for items for consideration involving the consent agenda. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on October 13th, 2025. Item 2, resolution number 2025-164, authorizing the city manager to accept the bid and execute a contract with Southwest Arkansas Telephone Cooperative of Texarkana, Arkansas, for an annual amount not to exceed $195,480 over 10 years for the provision of fiber optic infrastructure at the South Regional Wastewater Plant. Item 3 is resolution number 2025-175, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport 2026 to 2031 Capital Improvement Plan required to secure federal grant funds for airport projects. Item number 4, the resolution number 2025-176, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute necessary documents with Miller County to swap the former Arkansas National Guard building and land with the Miller County Juvenile Detention Center. Item 5, resolution number 2025-177, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with McClellan Engineering for engineering services and passenger facility charge administration services in an amount not to exceed $50,000. Item 6, resolution number 2025-178, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute a lease renewal with the Transportation Security Administration, also known as TSA. Item number 7, resolution number 2025-180, approving a 1-year contract with 4 one-year renewal options for tree removal and related services with Premier Tree Service, LLC of Texarkana, Texas, in an amount not to exceed $115,000 with funds budgeted in the city's fiscal year 2026 General Fund, Fund 101. Item number 8, resolution number 2025-183, approving the Bowie Central Appraisal District's 2025 tax roll. This concludes the items on the consent agenda, and unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further consideration, I will approve or entertain a motion for approval as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock, a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. We do have one action item this evening. It's item 1, resolution number 2025-181, denying the application to increase rates filed by Southwestern Electric Power Company, known as SWEPCO, on or about October 14th, 2025. And before we take action on this item, our city attorney, Mr. Jeff Lewis, would like to provide some information to the council relating to this matter. Mr. Lewis, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. The day after our last council meeting, SWEPCO gave notice to about 60 cities, including Texarkana, of a proposed rate increase of approximately $94.9 million. We just have not had enough time to process the 30-plus pages that they sent to us, nor have the other cities. The rate breakdown you'll find at page 187 of the council packet. It's spread over many rate classes. The recommendation from our legal counsel that we typically rely upon in our card association is to deny SWEPCO's proposed rate increase, intervene in the case filed with the Public Utility Commission in Texas to review the proceedings, direct SWEPCO to reimburse CARD's legal expenses as allowed by law, and participate in the rate and operation decision-making process. Otherwise, these rates will go into effect 8 days from now. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Lewis by the council? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Appreciate those remarks. All right. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. This is a resolution, so it does not have a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. We'll now move along to our first briefings items on the agenda. We do have several items this evening, and so item number 1 is ordinance number 2025-137, rezoning lots 16 and 17, Block 1, Pleasant Grove Central, located at 25 and 26 Briarwood Circle. This is located in Ward 5, from single family 1 to single family 1. From single family 1 to two family 1. Doug, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Dong Fu Nguyen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Owner, and by the way, council, this item will require a 3/4 vote for approval of the council to be required for this particular item. And we have Michelle Daniel to brief the council on this item as well as other upcoming items. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Council. So this is a request to rezone 0 Briarwood Circle and 26 Briarwood Circle from Single Family 1 to Two Family 1. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood residential, and the adjacent zoning is Single Family 1 to the north, south, and west, and University Plan Development to the east. The adjacent land use is vacant lot to the north and east, cell towers on the east, and residential to the south and west. Planning and zoning recommended for denial of this request due to the use being non-conforming with the surrounding area and neighborhood. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michelle on this item?
Do you know if,
Davis?
do you know if there's been any discussion on, is this going to be single story or?
It'd be single-story duplexes is what they wanted to put on these two lots.
But the existing neighborhood that is there now, those are all single-family homes, residential
sir.
homes.
Yes, sir.
So this would be altering that makeup of the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions by the council? I know that we've had quite a bit of correspondence from citizens in that particular neighborhood. That's contained in your packet, so have some citizens that have some concerns about this particular
Planning
item.
and zoning did recommend against.
Yes, sir. They unanimously recommended for denial.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Michelle. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2025-165. And by the way, on this item, as well as the others on our first briefings, we will have this for council consideration at our next meeting on December the 8th. Item 2, once again, is ordinance number 2025-165, granting a specific use permit allowing one additional use of a new or used auto sale outdoor display on Lot 56, Block 2, Wade and Cole Boulevard, located at 2801 Texas Boulevard, which is located in Ward 3. Perry Steitler, owner, and Sandra Wright, agent. Michelle?
Good evening again. And so this is a request for a specific use permit to allow new and used car sales or an outdoor lot at 2801 Texas Boulevard. The property is currently zoned general retail. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood retail, and the adjacent zoning is single-family 2 to the north and west, neighborhood services to the south, and office to the east. The adjacent land uses is residential to the north and west, a trophy shop to the south, and a law office to the east. A specific use permit is required to allow a new or used auto sales outdoor lot in this zoning district. Planning and zoning did recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2025-166, rezoning an approximate .77 acre tract of land being tracts 58 and 59, J.A. Talbot Headright Survey, A-564, located at 5817 Richmond Road in Ward 5, from Single Family 1 to General Retail. Bun Ling Tan Alex, owner. Michelle?
This is a request to rezone 5817 Richmond Road from Single Family 1 to General Retail. The future land use map designates this property as suburban residential. The adjacent zoning is Single Family 1 to the north, south, and west, and Plan Development Office to the east. The adjacent land uses are churches to the north, south, and west, and vacant lot to the east. The proposed use is a 3-unit strip center with a donut shop. Planning and zoning does recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay. Items number 4 and 5 are related, so I'm going to read both of those captions, and then Michelle will cover those. Item number 4 is ordinance number 2025-167, rezoning on the south part of lots 42 and 45 North Robinson Courts, located at 210 East Midway Drive. This is in Ward 2, from Single Family 1 to Single Family 3, Brenda Wooldridge, owner. And then item number 5 is ordinance number 2025-168, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on the south part of lots 42 and 45 North Robinson Courts, located at 210 East Midway Drive in Ward 2, Brenda Wooldridge, owner. Michelle?
So as you said, this is a request for rezoning and for a specific use permit at 210 East Midway Drive. The rezoning is from multiple family 1 to single family 3 for a HUD code manufactured home. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood residential. The adjacent zoning is multiple family 1 to the north, south, east, and west. The adjacent land use is residential to the north, south, and west, and a vacant lot to the east. The applicant is aware of all the stipulations required. Planning and zoning have recommended for approval of both of these requests, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item, or these items? Okay. All right, move along to our next items. So council, items numbers 6 through 11 are related, although we may have different addresses involved. It's the same common request, so I will read those, and then Michelle will provide additional information. Item number 6 is ordinance number 2025-169, rezoning an approximate 10.25 acre tract of land, Jacob Karsner Headright Survey, A-116, in city PTBL W&X, located at 1003 South Lilia, which is in Ward 1, from agriculture to industrial 2, Ryan Berry, owner, and Vance Lyles, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. Item number 7, ordinance number 2025-170, rezoning on Lot 4, Block 6, Factory Heights, located at 606 South 8th Street in Ward 1, from commercial to industrial 2, Ryan Berry, owner, and Vance Lyles, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. Item number 8, ordinance number 2025-171, rezoning on lots 5 and 6, Block 6, Factory Heights, located at 608 South 8th Street in Ward 1, from commercial to industrial 2. Ryan Berry, owner. Vance Lyles, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. Item number 9, ordinance number 2025-172, rezoning on lots 7 through 12, Block 6, Factory Heights, located at 804 South Lilia Street, Ward 1, from commercial to industrial 2. Ryan Berry, owner. Vance Lyles, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. Item number 10, ordinance number 2025-173, rezoning on the west 30 feet of Block 13, Factory Heights, located at 508 South 8th Street, Ward 1, from commercial to industrial 2. Ryan Berry, owner, and Lance Lyles, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. Item number 11, ordinance number 2025-174, rezoning on the east part for FR of Block 13, located in the 500 block of South 8th Street, Ward 1, from commercial to industrial 2. Ryan Berry, owner, and Vance Lyles, MTG Engineers and Surveyors agent. Michelle?
So as you said, this is a request to rezone separate tracts of land located around South Lelia Street and West 8th, from commercial and agricultural to industrial. The future land use map has designated these properties as industrial, and the adjacent zoning is around these properties is industrial, commercial, and single family, and a rail yard that's outside the city limits. The adjacent land use is businesses and vacant lots. Planning and zoning do recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on these items? Okay. All right, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time this evening. Item number 12 is resolution number 2025-179, closing and abandoning a 20-foot right-of-way formerly known as Thomas Street, located west of Ann Street and north of Lake Drive within the Hancock's First Edition, and 0.76 acres of surplus property between lots 16 through 18 within the Hancock's First Edition. And we have Jonathan Wade, city staff, to brief the council on this item. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. The city received a request from Cook Partners for the abandonment of an unopened 20-foot right-of-way west of Ann Street and north of Lake Drive within the Hancock's First Edition, as well as .076 acres of surplus property between lots 16 and 18 of the Hancock's First Edition. All of this land has been maintained by the owners of the property, as it has been used as part of the back and the side yards. The city has no plans to use this right-of-way for future purposes. If abandoned and declared surplus, all of the right-of-way and property will go to Cook Partners. The city sent out a memo to city departments and utility representatives. No concerns have been given by utility representatives, and there are no issues with closing and abandoning this right-of-way and declaring a portion of the city-owned property as surplus. Attached in the packet are the memorandum and responses. Staff recommends approval, and if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay. Any questions by the council on this item? Okay. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your time. And we do have one more item. Item number 13 is resolution number 2025-182, approving the draft CDBG fiscal year 2024 consolidated annual performance evaluation report. And I thought Michelle was going to brief us on that, so we have David.
Megan Price will be briefing this item.
Okay, good evening, Megan. Glad to have you with us this evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So I'm here to present the resolution on the annual CAPER report. Do we have those slides? Okay, so the CAPER report is our yearly report that goes over our expenditures and accomplishments for the year for our community development block grant. So this is going to be for the period of October 1st, 2024 to September 30th of 2025. We will have, and this is our draft, so this is our first round, but we will have a public comment period, and it's actually going to be November 17th to December 9th, and the public hearing will be on the Monday, December 8th council meeting. So that will be updated. And then taking a look at our expenditures for this past grant year, 15% was spent on administration. We have a 20% cap, so we were under that, which is really good. Public services, we spent 13%, which there's a 20% cap on. And then the majority of our spending went to general services, which are projects in neighborhoods in the community, things that, like sidewalks, tree planting, things that will better the city. Public services is going towards some of our organizations in town, like Randy Sam's for homelessness, the Scholars for youth programs, things like that. So we can take a look and see what all projects that we did with last year's grant, the percentage of the funding that we used on each project, how much it was funded, and how much we've already spent towards the end of the year. And just to touch on some of those projects, we did a job training program with Mission Texarkana, just 5% of the grant. They were funded $20,000. So far, they've spent $8,765. And we still do have another month of draws, so this isn't what the final expenditure will look like at the end. Some other things we did, we funded $18,000 for the Scholars to operate their youth programs. We did some sidewalks, tree planting, community gardens, landscaping. We upgraded to accessible playground equipment at Kitopia Park for some of the children that may not be able to use the equipment that was currently there. We did some upgrades at Randy Sam's and upgraded the basketball court and bleachers at the Southwest Center, and some demolition, and of course, housing repairs with Habitat. So we're looking at rolling over, by the end of this grant, and when we get final expenditures in, we're probably only going to be rolling over probably about $5,000 into next year. And going into this program year, we had, I think, $400,000 of excess money that had been rolled over from each previous year. So being able to actually spend that money and only rolling over $5,000 into next year was tremendous for us to be able to do that this year. We got a lot more projects done than normal and got rid of that money so that it's not just rolling over each year and not being spent. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is citizens are asked to present comments, and we'll do that at the next December 8th meeting. And any comments that people have can be mailed in or delivered to City Hall before 5 p.m. December 1st, 2025. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Megan by the council on this item? Okay. All right. Thank you,
Thank you
Megan.
all.
Appreciate your time. This concludes our first briefings. We'll now move along to our public hearings this evening. Item number 1 is ordinance number 2025-138, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of permanent cosmetics on an approximate .82 acre tract of land being Tract 10, MEP&P Railway Company Headright Survey, A-428, located at 5604 Summer Hill Road, Suite 5. Jason Wynn, owner, and Brianna Boone, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Would you please
my
state your
name
name
is-
for the record?
Brianna Boone.
Okay, Ms. Boone.
I'm a permanent cosmetic artist. I need my zoning permit so that I can get my tattoo license renewed.
Okay, all right. Any questions by the council? Okay, do you have anything else you would like to share with the council on this
Nope.
item?
Nope, I am happy to answer any questions.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate your being here. Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward. Not seeing anyone else coming forward at this time, we'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Matlock. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-12 to allow one additional use of tattooing, permanent cosmetics, in a tenant space on an approximate 0.82 acre tract of land, being Tract 10, MEP&P Railway Company, HRS A-428, located at 5604 Summerhill Road, Suite Number 5, in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. All right. Ma'am, good luck with your business. All right. And this time we move along to item number 2, resolution number 2025-144, accepting a donation and approving naming rights of the new pickleball facility. At this time, we'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Second by Councilmember Davis. This item pertains to a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2025-151, rezoning Lot 14, MC Wade's Southwest GDN, located at 2121 Buchanan Road, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3. Procetta and Norman Jones, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward and state your name for the record. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Yes, ma'am. Would you please state your name for the record?
I'm Presetta Jones.
Norman Jones, sir.
All right, good evening,
Council.
Mr. and Mrs. Jones. We're glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Anything you would like to share with the council?
We would like permission to place our mobile home on the property at 2121 Buchanan Road.
Okay, all right, very good. Any questions by the council? Okay, if not, then thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock and a second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning on Lot 14, MC Wade Southwest GDN, located at 2121 Buchanan Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. We'll now move along to item number 4, which pertains to the specific use permit on this item. Item number 4 is ordinance number 2025-152, granting a specific use permit, allowing the location of a HUD code manufactured home on Lot 14, MC Wade Southwest GDN, located at 2121 Buchanan Road. How do you pronounce your name, ma'am?
Presetta.
Presetta and Norman Jones, owners.
Yes, sir.
At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward or state your name for the record. Any additional comments to be made by Mr. and Mrs. Jones?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. Anyone else want to address the council on this item? At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock and a second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-819 to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on Lot 14, MC Wade's Southwest GDN, located at 2121 Buchanan Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. All right, good evening. I mean, not good evening, but good luck, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, on your mobile home.
Thank you. Thank you, Council.
All right, thank you for being here. All right. At this time, move along to item number 5, ordinance number 2025-155, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of tattooing and permanent cosmetics on approximate .82 acre tract of land being Tract 10, MEP&P Railway Company A-428, located at 5604 Summerhill Road, Suite 3. Jason Wynn, owner, and Kayleana Kelly, agent. At this time, we'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward, this time we'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Councilmember Davis? Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-815 to allow one additional use of tattooing permanent cosmetics on an approximate 0.82 acre tract of land being Tract 10, MEP&P Railway Company HRS A-428, located at 5604 Summerhill Road, Suite Number 3, in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 6, ordinance number 2025-157, amending PD-15-2 MF2 for site plan approval on a .51 acre tract of land and a .49 acre tract of land being tracts 58 and 59, F.V. Evans Headright Survey A-742, located at 6813 Richmond Road. Nick Hibbs, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, we'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Thompson, second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending PD-15-2 MF2 for site plan approval on an approximate 0.51 acre and on a 0.49 acre tract of land being tracts 58 and 59, F.V. Evans HRS A-742, located at 6813 Richmond Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. We have one more public hearing item, and it's ordinance number 2025-161, closing and abandoning a 20-foot alley between Lot 6 and 7 of the Wellsford subdivision. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, closing and abandoning a 20-foot alley located east of Norton Street and south of College Drive, located between lots 6 and 7 of the Wellsford subdivision in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, providing for a severability clause and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr?
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, I want to recognize TWU for an Excellence in Resourcefulness Award that they received. This is part of the Advanced Metering AMI project that's in implementation. That project is currently about 42% complete with full installation anticipated by next June. And so this recognition just highlights the TWU staff innovative approach, and just congratulations to the entire team. Also, just a few save the dates to pass along. We have the CPKC holiday train will be coming back to Texarkana again this year. It'll be Sunday, November 30th from 4:30 to 5:30. It'll be stopping at West 4th Street, and from 4:30 to 5:30 again, the headliner band is Smash Mouth. And you covered this, but once again, Bramlett Beans and Cornbread to save the date on December 4th, 11 to 1 at our convention center. That's all.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you, Dr. Orr. We'll now move along to administrative comments. Any comments by the council this evening? Okay, I just would like to share, I know that we've had a great evening this evening as far as celebrating our 100th anniversary of the City Hall building with our former mayors here and former council members and other special guests. And I just want to thank this council for the great work that you do each and every day representing the citizens in your ward. It's certainly appreciated, and thank you for your service. You're welcome. All right. Dr. Orr, anything else?
No additional comments from staff.
Okay, all right. In reference to informational items, there are two items that are listed here. This is just pertaining to information that was contained in your packet in reference to the council meeting. Item 1 is City Secretary's discussion notes from the Riverbend Water Resources District Workshop held on September 29th, 2025. And then item 2 is the Summit Utilities Arkansas Incorporated proposed core CPI adjusted rates for January 1, 2026, implementing rider schedule number 2, consumer price index rider approved by ordinance number 2025-103. All right. And council, we will be postponing our closed session, so we will not be going into closed session this evening. And I will just, we do need to have the council, we need for you to stick around afterwards. There are some documents that you need to sign, so if you'll please do that. And Dr. Orr, anything else that you have?
No further comments, Mayor.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, so is there a motion for adjournment?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock and a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much for being here this evening. We certainly appreciate your attendance and hope you have a great evening.